Today's Stav-Tech video is a bit different to usual because this time it's a car review. I don't normally do car reviews. I'm normally tuning my own cars or driving the tits off them, but this car's pretty ace, so I thought, wow, it deserves a review on its own. But this is Thomas's MR3 MR2 ZZW30s. So whether it's, you want to call it a MR3 MR2, an MR2 Spyder, MR2 Roadster, Toyota MRS, they call them different things in different countries, but that's what this is. And it's one with a difference because it's diesel powered. So let me show you around it. On the inside, it's, well, it's a decent enough place to be, like they all are. Aftermarket Momo steering wheel with a snap-off Boss. Sparco Rev seats, which are really comfy as well as massively supportive. Everything else looks fairly standard, although a slight giveaway is an EGT gauge and a boost gauge which goes to 3 bar, and trust me, it uses pretty much all of that. It uses about 2.7's worth actually. So yeah, this thing runs a whole lot of boost. Apart from that, it looks pretty normal. Gear stick looks normal, but it's far from it because it's using a Volkswagen 6-speed box. So rather than the slightly sloppy and uninspiring gear change that these things normally come with, this is a super sharp, super close ratio, brilliant gearbox, and also is so long geared that you could do, technically, if you could hit 6,000 RPM in top with this gearbox and the current tyres, that's well over 200 miles an hour, like real 200 miles an hour too. Even 5,500 RPM, which is, you know, achievable for a modified diesel, is 197. Like a genuine, you can go over 100 on the current rev limit in fourth. It's but because of that, you can cruise in 70 miles an hour in top gear at like barely 2,000 RPM with incredible fuel economy, because, well, these 1.9 TDI engines, when they're in their natural cars, Volkswagen Golfs and Borers and so on, they do over 50 to the gallon anyway. In this car, this weighs not, well, about 900 kilos. So about maybe 400 less than the OEM vehicle this is in. So this thing is economical. Like, honestly, you know, 15 pounds of fuel gets you hundreds of miles. So let me show you the rest of the car. From the outside, it looks like a fairly typical MR3 MR2. The main difference is this has got wider arches Thomas fitted, so it could run these Toyo T1R tyres front and rear, which are just normal all-weather tyres really, but as it shows you, 245 45 16 front and rear. So yeah, this thing has got some proper grip. It flies around corners. 245s is wide for a car of like 900 kilos. I think the standard tyres are 195s, but yeah, this thing seriously bloody handles. Generally, the rest of the looks are fairly stock, apart from ducktail spoiler, which helps a lot. Holes in the back bumper, which are kind of give the game away a little bit, because through there, a big alloy intercooler, which is actually meant to be an upgrade for a FDRX7, but it's been converted to a rear mount intercooler, and most importantly, a Volkswagen 1.9 TDI badge, just to confuse people. So I guess I better show you what's under there. And this is what's powering it. A 1.9 TDI PED engine from I think it's from a Volkswagen Borer. This one is running one of Thomas's homemade plenums, like a EcoFlow plenum. Again, this car, funnily enough, although it looks pretty awesome, is only was a very quickly made development mule. He didn't even know if he would like it, so you know, he thought he'd do it quickly to see what he thought of it, and then if he liked it, he would, you know, finish all the tidying. And yes, he does like it. So this is the rough and ready version, but it is still properly awesome. It's got a rebuilt 1.9 TDI PD engine. It's got uprated max speeding rods in it, H section rods. To be honest, you don't need them. The stock rods are known to take over 400 horsepower and over 500 pound-foot of torque, but they were really cheap, and he's rebuilding the engine anyway, so he's like, stuff it, let's do it now. It's got modified pistons, which gives a slightly bigger combustion chamber inside the center of the piston, because they haven't got combustion chambers in the head. It's a flat head and the combustion's all in the piston, and that has been enlarged for slightly lower compression and a bigger combustion chamber. Turbo is a GT, I think it's a GT 2260, 2256, I can't remember. It's off a 3-litre Audi engine, and this one makes about 240 brake and 350 pound-foot of torque. These turbos can be pushed harder on these to over 300 brake, but with bigger injectors. This, because again, he didn't know if he'd even like it or not, is only on stock injectors, which are currently maxed out at what they are. Just a cone filter there, direct to the turbo, and a 3-inch turbo back exhaust, which is completely unsilenced and is basically about 2.5 foot long, but isn't that loud and does sound badass. So yeah, this thing is, like I said, it's a development mule, so it's not been all prettied up and tidied up, but it turns out it's that fucking awesome that, well, yeah, he's going to now. The conversion itself is brilliant. It's almost like this 1.9 TDI engine was intended to fit in this bay. It fits absolutely fantastically. Thomas made custom engine mounts, including a one that not even the Volkswagens have on the original car, like a fourth one, like almost a brace that runs underneath, which helps hold the torque, because these cars are known for, when they're modified, even in the front wheel drive applications, for damaging engine mounts and moving about a lot. So with all the grip of mid-engine rear wheel drive, you know, even more so. But now what he's done with that, there's almost no movement. It's a ported stock exhaust manifold, one of Thomas's homemade inlets, which again he made in a couple of hours. He said it's far from what he would want, but he just wanted to try and see what the car would be like. Custom gear linkage, using a mixture of the OEM gear linkage plus some special bits and pieces. With the alternator and all that is down the back, you know, in the standard positions. It's got custom drive shafts that Thomas made, which is a mixture of the Toyota, I think it's the Toyota outer, the hub end, and the rest of it is modified VW Audi parts. Like I said, a Volkswagen O2M 6-speed box with actually a welded diff in this one. Obviously most people would be a bit like scared of that and want to fit a aftermarket limited slip diff, but even this, as I'll show you in the drive-in, drives absolutely beautifully in my opinion. But you could put a limited slip diff there if you wanted, no problem at all. And yeah, this is what it is. It's got, like I said, stock injectors and a custom remap. The remap, wow, that's a whole different story. The guy that did it really opened my eyes to how good a 1.9 TDI PD engine can be. Basically, as I will show you in the video, the response is fucking incredible. Like I've never known barely any petrol cars would respond this well, never mind a diesel. And no smoke. Fast as hell, but no smoke. You know, they always say no smoke, no poke. Well, that's bollocks. You know, if you watch any of Gale Banks' videos, he's one of the most renowned diesel tuners on the planet, and he hates smoke, and he says how stupid it is. But most people just, you know, that's what they think. They think to go fast, the engine needs to be pouring out clouds of black smoke out the car. But this does fuck all, like none. And there's no DPF, no cat, no nothing to be collecting the smoke. This has no smoke because it's been mapped properly. And the guy that did this, I mean, he went through the map as, you know, to show us exactly what he did. and it was pretty incredible. And to be honest, I've dealt with a lot of diesel tuning over the years through my work for magazines and so on, and I never, you know, this guy's opened my eyes to it. Everything I've ever seen is so basic compared to what this guy does. He has got proper actual knowledge and understanding. So yeah, don't always think diesels are smoky, unresponsive, shit sounding things. You wait till what you see in this video and you'll see what I mean. And honestly, a lot of it is down to that guy who tuned it. I will put a link in the description to that tuning company. He's just one guy on his own, just, you know, he's relatively new in this country to doing it. He has been remapping cars for years, but yeah, he's just started up as his own thing, and honestly, I couldn't recommend him highly enough. He's a great guy, he's really helpful, and most of all, he's ridiculously knowledgeable. And the proof, in all honesty, is in the well, it's in the performance. I won't even try and say the company name because I'm not even, it's like Thanosis Tuning, something like that. It's very, it's an odd name. There you go. In fact, Thanatos Tuning sounds like a Greek name, so I should, you know, I should understand it, but no, Thanatos Tuning. And at the moment, as you can see, it's only got like not even 450 likes on Facebook because he's a new place. But honestly, this guy's a fucking legend when it comes to tuning. He is so knowledgeable when it comes to diesel tuning. It's incredible. Real nice guy, real just straight up and honest, lovely bloke. But more to the point, he's not like, oh, you know, chuck loads of fuel in it, chuck loads of boost in it, job done, you know, no smoke, no poke, fucking just send it. He does a really, like, it's an OEM type job, and it's fucking brilliant. So yeah, he doesn't even I mean, he can, of course, but he even carries on using the MAF sensor because it makes it drive nicer. Most people just get rid of the MAF sensor and go straight to map, but yeah, he's stuck with MAF on this car, and it drives amazing, as well this video should show you. But yeah, Thanatos Tuning, I'll put a direct link in the description, but you should be able to look that up. So yeah, there you go. So I'm now going to go for a drive, and as much as I love driving this thing, so I don't want to give it back, I'm going to have to give it back to Thomas because this is his daily now. It was literally something he didn't even know if he'd like, and he absolutely loves it. And everybody who's seen it so far wants one. I honestly, I want to buy one, I want to build one. The mapper was like, I want to build one of these. All the guys that we've took out, like there's guys that work in the garage next door and everything, everybody who's been out in the car with Thomas has been like, that's amazing, I want one. It is literally the best fucking engine conversion for one of these you could ever imagine. Stupidly economical and drives fucking brilliant, and is actually genuinely very fast. So and this is at a mild state of tune. Thomas's plans for this is gonna practically double this power, or maybe more than double the way he goes. So yeah, enough talking, let's go for a drive. One thing I do love about this car is, from being a underpowered, sort of torqueless, pretty crap vehicle, from a power point of view, it's now a bit of a weapon that can go sideways at will, and just messing about out of junctions and spinning it round. I can tell you this car rotates amazingly. As you can probably tell from that. The good thing with this tune, most diesels, they've got a big spike of torque and then it drops off massively. This car holds the power and torque right through really well. It revs out for a diesel and amazing. And it would a lot more if it wasn't maxing out the injectors. This car could get you in a lot of trouble very easy because it's so usably fast. No matter what gear you're in, it just pops off. So even without realising, you're always doing a lot of speed. Part of that is also the big tyres and really good suspension, which means it just handles everything so well. And you only realise how fast you are when it's coming to slow down, and it's like, oh shit, I'm flying. 70 then in 4.1. I don't even know if that's good, but it felt fast. Right, let's do 70 in top gear. So right, that's 70 miles an hour dead on, slightly over 2050, 2040 RPM. Big economy, but the best thing is, you know, 2000 RPM or so, you put your foot down and it accelerates. Turbo chatter sounds mental. There you go, 60 to 100 miles an hour in 6.9 seconds. I'll have to check, but I'm pretty sure that's E46 M3 fast. Diesel fuel economy, mid-engine sports car handling, BMW M3 straight line performance. Does it all. And bearing in mind, all of these times so far I've been hampered quite a bit by compressor surge. If you could get rid of that, this would be even quicker. That's bloody quick. Who don't love turbo chatter? That's the thing, I could be cruising now at like 2,500 RPM, and you put your foot down and instantly 2 bar plus boost. With 245 wide tyres front and rear, just normal road tyres, not semi-slicks. The handling is fucking brilliant as well. It's a proper, it's funny, this car has got standard shocks and springs, not coilovers, none of that, so it's super comfy. But what it has got is rated anti-roll bars. It feels like a proper little race car driving it. Like, it's not hard, but Christ almighty, it really does handle amazing. And with the massive torque it's got now, and like massive torque right from, you know, 2000 RPM, it is so drivable and easy. Like, honestly, on it'd be amazing to use as well, like a rally car or to do sprints and hill climbs, because it's got such massive grunt but massive traction as well. Like full grip in second gear in the dry, well, even second gear in the wet quite a lot, thanks to it's got a lock diff, so not one wheel peel like you can always get. A lock diff and good tyres, and it genuinely grips like hell. Handles amazing, love it. Right, I want to try and do another 30 to 70. That was 4.2 30 to 70 with a gear change. This would do it without a gear change, but and it'd donut round on the spot. As it's not my car, I'm not going to drift it, but I'll put footage in of Thomas sliding this around. You would never imagine a Mark III MR2 to be a good drift car, but Thomas, thanks to this newfound power, drifts this around with ease. Like, it is bloody good, because, well, not so much the power, it's the torque and the response, and the fact it's now got a proper diff means it just, yeah. You can't drift a mid-engine car, they're too snappy. But what Thomas has done with this, even though it's relatively basic, is night and day. The overtaking, of course, with all the torque is brilliant, because that's where torque really helps, at the first punch. I don't care what anyone says, torque don't win races, power does, but torque helps. Torque is the initial acceleration. You know, the initial safe overtake, the initial kick out of a corner, the initial launch off a line if you've got the grip for it. Yeah, for safe overtaking, there's not much, you know. That was 30 to 70, well, not even 30 I don't think, behind that guy. To 70, just like that.